Welcome to Brother Owl's Garden. I'm Brian, and I honor your presence here today. Several years ago, I came to this huge new horizon in my being, sort of like the threshold of a new consciousness. And in that period of my life, I was kind of like what you would say I was aware in real time of what was unfolding within me. And I knew that it was a huge, like a tectonic shift within my deepest depths within, soul level. And what I came to realize was that for most of my life, I had been living in a kind of incorrect priority, an incorrect hierarchy of living, conditioned by society, unthinkingly absorbing ideas that actually I don't really espouse, but that I got sort of washed into, and they weren't even my own, but I had almost been sleepwalking through life, living that way, even though it didn't align with what I actually believed when I consciously sat and examined it. And I had become aware that life can be thought of in three different facets. There is being, there is the doing or experiencing, and then there's the having. And I wasn't living in that order. I was living in an order of mostly doing, and then usually for the sake of having. And then I really have got to get around to that topic of being. I've really got to stop, sit down, and address that whole issue of being. That just won't leave me alone. I really need to get to that someday. Not today, of course, but boy, I've really got to get around to that. And it just kept getting, kicked the can down the road. And there came a point in my life where, as they say, King Soul basically stood up, and I'm speaking metaphorically, but it was as if Soul stood up, put its hand in the air like this, and said, I will not be subjugated any longer. I belong at the top throne, the throne of King Soul. And I will no longer allow intellect to rule over me, or the body to rule over me, or for emotions to cloud me or smother me. No. I'm taking my rightful place now at this point in life. Buckle up, get ready for the ride, and P.S., like it or lump it, I'm doing it. That's what it was. That depth of being, my soul. I don't even like to say my soul, which is what I am, would no longer tolerate that inversion that this upside down, backwards world we live in promotes, because this is the backwards, upside down world. If you haven't quite caught on to that yet, and if you haven't, just turn on any media source. You'll catch on quick. So that happened, and I realized, wow, the correct flow and hierarchy is being and experiencing / doing, and way down at the bottom in small letters is having only the tools and accessories that are necessary to enable the experiencing and the doing. And everything else is clutter. Give it away, sell it, recycle it, whatever you do. Purge it from your life. And all of that experiencing and doing is for the sake of and must serve the ultimate purpose of the being. Being. is it. The experiencing slash doing is the being engaged for the sake of its growth and evolution, purification, ascension, and transcendence. The having is almost like a footnote. We need infinitely less than we tend to think we need, especially if we're the kind of person that's sort of like a pack rat or hoarder, or somebody who just mindlessly has to go out and get more stuff and bring it home. This is an illness. This is a mental illness being projected onto the external world and is discernible by observing that person's behavior. And it's connected to fear, inadequacy, and lack. There's not enough. And also, I need to pad myself and protect myself in walls of this stuff, to protect myself from being hurt, to protect myself from the threatening world, or to keep myself sufficiently distracted from having to look at myself and live an examined life. All of those things. So I realized that it's being in all capital letters. And then with a capital E, experiencing slash doing. And then in all small letters, having. You might even want to print that out and put a little note card on your mirror or somewhere that you'll kind of see it. Being, experiencing slash doing. Oh yeah, having. Having's not bad. Just don't let things have you. And don't have more than you really need. And how do you know if you need it? Is this essential for what matters most in my life? Yes. Keep it. No. Give it away, preferably. Or sell it if necessary. Or recycle it if it's really not valuable anymore. So those are the things that I just wanted to mention and remind everyone of, which I need reminding too, that life is being, experiencing for the sake of being, and having for the sake of experiencing, which serves being. I bless you all, and I thank you for blessing me, and especially thank you to those who share this channel with friends, because that's very, very meaningful. You know how it is in YouTube, things get drowned. But you're a good soul if you share this channel with a friend who you think might like it. So I thank those of you who do that very, very much. It's meaningful that they can be reached and otherwise would not have been except for you. Remember that you are a spark of the divine. Your very nature is an emanation of the divinity that is source. And you are that. No matter what you may happen to be being in the moment, it can never be changed that you are that.